Good afternoon, Mississippi. Greg Michelle here with the Mississippi Emergency Management Director. Just wanted to give everyone an update on what is going on with Hurricane Delta. So we've been tracking this storm for quite some time. We're really waiting for this storm to pass through or past the Yucatan Peninsula. It's now done that. We've got some pretty tight projections from the National Hurricane Center, and if you've been keeping up with this on the news, then you understand or know that it has tracked a little bit to the west, projected now to make landfall somewhere along the central Louisiana Gulf Coast. So what's that going to mean for Mississippi? Well, first of all, let me just say nothing is guaranteed. The storm could certainly meander to the west or to the east even more now that it's out in the Gulf of Mexico. One thing that we know for sure is that storms and unpredictability can increase once they get into the Gulf of Mexico. But right now, the storm track appears to be fairly true, and where it's going to be making landfall sometime late Friday afternoon along the Louisiana coast. So what we need to be thinking about for the effects on Mississippi, as always, storm surge, and then the wind and the rain that we could be getting once this storm makes its way across Louisiana and into the southwestern portions of Mississippi. So storm surge projections right now are not phenomenal. We're looking at somewhere along 2 to 4 feet storm surge all the way over to Jackson County, and then Harrison County, Hancock County are falling into the 4 to 6 foot storm surge. But if you talk to the folks along the coast, they don't put a lot of confidence in those because sometimes they can be higher than what they projected. So we're always planning a little bit more to the north of those numbers just to make sure that we're properly prepared. For those of you that are living in the southwestern portion of Mississippi, you can expect wind and rain. And now all of that is going to depend on the intensity of this storm once it makes landfall. This Delta is projected to reach Cat 3, maybe even possible Cat 4, Category 4 while it's out in the Gulf of Mexico. It is projected to rapidly de-intensify once it reaches somewhat cooler water temperatures along the coast. But those cool waters do not recede very far out from the coast, so there's not a lot of time for it to ramp down, but it is expected to ramp down from a Category 3 storm and make landfall somewhere in the neighborhood of a low-end Category 1. But again, all of that could change. We saw what happened with Laura, and we must be prepared for that. So that being the case, how that storm comes on land, how powerful it is, the wind field, or how tight-knit the storm is all going to have effects on the amount of rain and the amount of wind that we could be seeing in portions of southwest Mississippi. So what we need to do is we need to pay attention. We need to watch the storm very closely over the next 24 hours because that's really going to be key to what this storm is going to do in the net effects. For those of you along the Gulf Coast, you just need to pay attention to your local emergency management directors. If any evacuations are issued, they will direct that. Same goes for you that are living upward in the southwestern portions of Mississippi, particularly along the Mississippi River. Just be prepared for a lot of rain and high wind. We have prepared worst case scenario like we always do. We've got National Guard assets that will be deployed as of tonight. We've got 3 composite teams to be down in Gulfport, Mississippi at the Combat Readiness Training Center. And then we'll also have some composite teams over in Pike County at the Macomb Armory staged to respond to any of those counties in southwest Mississippi. There are 11 shelters that are on standby in affected counties, which means that we have those ready to turn on if we need to. So all preparations, as always, are being made. We never take anything for granted when we're watching hurricanes. One thing that I would add, those of you that might have to go into a shelter, just remember we're still very much into this COVID environment. So if you come to a shelter, you are going to be required to wear a mask. Bring your mask with you if you can. If not, masks will be available. Hand sanitizer will be made available to you there. So that's a quick update that we've got there. We're going to continue to monitor this very closely, and just stay tuned to your local emergency management officials and weather, and be prepared to respond accordingly. Thank you.